I never thought of a golf course. I never even thought I'd play the game. I said, I don't want to play that stupid game. That's what I called it, a stupid game. When I played one round, that's all it took. I loved it. I said, man, I love this game.
If you've never been much of a golf enthusiast, I may have found the course for you. You can play golf courses from Augusta to Pebble Beach and never play a course like this. So come with us to Snead's Crossroads, where they're serious about their golf, serious about having fun, and they irrigate with a Ford truck.
That's pumping right now. Yeah. I set it on 55 mile an hour. The speedometer works. I set it on 55 mile an hour and just let it sit there.
And just as the old Ford pumps water to irrigate the course, and Otis Williams' son Terry finishes up with the morning mowing, the sun is coming up, and the regulars are rolling in to Whippoorwill Golf Course.
Started coming up here when a friend of mine brought me up here, and these guys are so nice, and we'll get watermelons, cantaloupes, tomatoes when we play, so you just can't beat that.
Hard to quarrel with the price either, $15 for a round, $18 with a cart, $20 on the weekend, and there's a bonus. There can't be too many golf courses in America. In fact, this is the only one I know of where you get a free watermelon at the end of every round. It's enough to almost make me want to take up golf.
Hey, we're one of the kind, that's for sure. I didn't have enough land to make a living raising cattle.
But there was just enough room to build a golf course.
We opened it in September of '93, the first year. It wasn't fit to play on. The greens was terrible. The fairways were terrible. But I had 27 people to play the first day, and the next day I had 40-something. I said, man, this thing might make money. And we've been improving it and working on it ever since.
Otis has even added a combination cabin, pro shop, clubhouse where you can pick up your watermelon at the end of the round or just sit around and share it with your golfing buddies. Actually, the cabin wasn't added. Otis built it and lived in it first, then moved out, and the golfers moved in.
Well, this is where they pay their money to play, and then my shop's outside that I build, where I build the clubs and repair. And I've been repairing clubs since '92.
I was going to say, how did you get started in the golf game?
We had a driving range in Rainbow City when I retired, and I got into this. And then when we sold the driving range in Rainbow City, and Otis asked me would I come up because they didn't want to mess with the clubs.
So while John tends to club repair in his shop, Otis makes plans for expansion in a spot currently occupied by a field of watermelons.
Right, yeah, we'll have a driving range here next year. But we're going to have, we got plenty of room to plant watermelons.
People and produce and putters combine to make a day at Whippoorwill one of a kind.
Smell the roses, then you'll enjoy it.
And if you're still not sure golf is your game, consider Otis Williams' views on his course, his game, and his life.
We've been here 20 years, and it's really been a blessing. I mean, it really enjoyed it. I enjoy playing golf. I don't get to play much in the summer. We have all this mowing to do, but in the winter, I can play more, and Terry can play with me. We play a lot in the winter. I'm 80 years old. I've never been had any surgery. I've never been in any hospital. I've never been on any medication. Don't you think the Lord has blessed me?
If you pull into a parking lot at your local golf course and it's full of luxury cars, you're probably not at Whippoorwill Golf Course. But if there are plenty of pickup trucks and lots of smiling faces, you've come to the right place, because this is how we play golf at Snead's Crossroads. And this is absolutely Alabama.
Our family would go to Gatlinburg every year in the fall and see the Becky Cable grist mill out in Cage Cove. I just loved it. I was fascinated. I'm an engineer, so I was fascinated with all that. And so when it came time to build my own grist mill, I had to find one.
David Brogdon found that old grist mill here along Yellowleaf Creek in Chilton County. He bought it with the intention of moving it to a development in Shelby County, but somehow that just didn't seem right.
Most of the grist mills in the country were pre-Civil War because there was no electricity. To eat and build things, you had to have grist mills. And so this one was built in, best we can tell, about 1855.
So after what David calls a front porch board meeting with two friends, a decision was made.
And the kudzu was growing around us, and the wisteria vines, and the lizards were running across our feet. And we just sit here for 10 minutes. I said, all right, let's be quiet for 10 minutes and think, what do we want to do with the mill? And do we want to move it, or what are we going to do? And 5 minutes in, everybody looked at me and just started smiling and said, we could not move this mill. And I just grinned and laughed at them. I said, I already made that decision. Y'all were right. I just want to make sure y'all understood the value of having something that's in the heart of the community.
But what do you do with a restored grist mill?
I would come in here on weekends and unlock the gate, and before I could get the door open, I'd have 3 or 4 cars pull in behind me going, can we just take pictures down on the water or in front of the building? And I'd go, well, wait till the roof gets put on, it's going to fall off on you. And they said, well, you don't understand, this place has been here forever, you know. I said, I understand. And then all of a sudden, right behind them will be the next wave of cars saying, we need a place to get married, we need a wedding venue, and this is perfect. You know, people are getting married in old barns, but nobody's got a grist mill to get married in. And I'm like, okay, weddings, that's what I need.
And if you're going to have weddings, you've got to have a honeymoon suite.
This is what we call our honeymoon suite. We've got a king-size bed, and we've got a queen-size bed in case it doesn't work out. And we left the millworks in place. And so all the belts and pulleys are here. We came across this tub that was cobalt blue, and I just loved it. And my wife said, I said, where's it going? I said, well, I'm putting it in the bathroom in there. And she said, no, put it out in the middle of the floor, because it's going to be, maybe it's going to be used for more pictures than anything else, bridal pictures. So that's why it's sitting here. Of course, the minute we did that, then we had to go back and build shutters to cover up all our floor-length windows.
Even though they don't grind corn here anymore, reminders of those days are still very much in evidence.
Of course, you got the original grist stones there, and the pulleys to open it up and clean it with. We've got the big mini marvel machine, midget marvel, which is a flour machine. It's an all-in-one grinder sifter. We've got a corn shucker here. So you put the ear of corn in, out comes the corn, the shucks go different directions. The sifter here was in place when I got the mill, and it's got a big blade inside it. You pour the rough flour in the top, and the blade moves around. You'd be surprised how many people want their picture made in front of the sifter.
Outside, there's a restored patio overlooking the creek, complete with an area for refreshments.
All right, Fred, so we took our old tool shed and turned it into our bar area by putting barn doors on it, little mini barn doors. Pretty cool, isn't it? It's hard to beat this.
But for my money, it's hard to beat a rocker, a porch, and a waterfall.
The waterfall is hard to replace, and that's why we didn't tear the facility down and we just left it here. And that was the idea, to keep the integrity of the past. I mean, I would have liked to keep the holes in the wall, but everybody else would not have liked that.
For more than 100 years, the old Yellowleaf grist mill has been part of the fabric of the life for people in this part of Chilton County. And now, thanks to David's vision, it's beginning to look as if it'll be around for another 100 years. Its purpose has changed a bit, but it still connects us to a past that's absolutely Alabama.
Wasn't born and raised in this part of the country. I was born in at Brownville, Alabama, at the pole yard. Kind of transplanted in here about 15, 20 years ago. Coker about 25 years.
After making the arduous journey from Brownville out west to Tuscaloosa County, that's over 60 miles, Ken Thrasher went to work nearby.
I was fortunate enough. I graduated on Thursday night, went to work at university Monday morning, thanks to my brother, and stayed there till I got tired. Retired out of the Museum of Natural History out there.
After retiring from the Museum of Natural History, Ken got serious about his own piece of history.
Been building wagons for 30-something years. Started out as a hobby, and it finally went bad.
There's a man in Elrod who's building wagons as fast as he wants. Not as fast as he can, as fast as he wants, because he says the world is moving too fast.
I was telling somebody the other day, you can get in a wagon in your neighborhood and drive around just, 2 or 3, 4, 5 miles of home there, and you'll see stuff out of that wagon that you never even knew was there before. I started out building little old models that you set up on your TV, I built a buggy, and I built regular farm wagons, and I built a couple of little stagecoaches, and people wanted them things, and kept on till they wanted them worse than I did. Being an old poor boy, everything I built, and I'm being honest with you here, I built for myself. The bills get to rolling around at the end of the month. Somebody had already told me they'd like to have that. If I got ready to sell it, well, I'd have to call them. And I've built thousands of wagons and hadn't got but 2 or 3 because I've had to pay the bills through my life, So, but everything I built, they wanted to keep, with the exception of stagecoach. I've sold it through the years. A stagecoach is top of the line. And then I've got my baby down here in the front yard. You saw it. I got the plans from the Oregon Historical Society. They're detailed right down to every nut and bolt that goes in it, and that was real easy. Because when I opened them plans, and it was about 6 pages, I said, Lord, have mercy, what have I done got into? But build one piece at a time. I hadn't actually built but 3 stagecoaches. The other one, I sold it at an auction up in Tennessee. I don't know where it went. And the first stagecoach was pretty tough to build. I had gotten a set of plans from the Smithsonian Institute, and they was just enough detail to it to get you in trouble. But I built a stagecoach by it. It changed hands 3 or 4 different times, and now, at last I heard, it's on a movie set out in Hollywood.
Hollywood hasn't changed Ken much. Today his brother Morris is still helping him out with his wheels, and when Ken's not building wagons to fit those wheels, he finds other things to attach them to, like cannons. Or he might build a water wheel for his wife in the backyard, but it's the wagons he loves, and most of the time you'll find him here doing just that, building wagons.
It's a dying art. Ain't nobody doing it no more. I'm getting old. Used to, I could build this set of wheels here in a day. Can't do that no more. Like I say, it's a hobby gone bad.
Down through the generations, across the sands of time, westward the wagons, as the old movie saying goes, Ken Thrasher keeps alive an American tradition because, as the sign says, a wagon works. And this one's absolutely Alabama.